tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
Viewers of the tube, thanks for tuning back into the channel. Oh, look at this. I'm all nervous, like a schoolboy kissed a girl for the first time. And I can tell you, I did like it. Yes, Mail, it has been a long time, and I am nervous, ironically. Sidious, let the shenanigans begin. Yes, sir. Good to see you. Good to talk to you. Rob, way too long, my good friend. Lego Team B in the house. Much appreciated. You guys showing the love. Mayo, good to see you. It's been a while. Seen you on Click and Cliffs the last time we hung out. Hasn't been that long, but it's been too long. Pandemonious Panda, all the way from the east coast of Canada. Cheers to you, good sir. Chef showing up. Much appreciated. Way too long, Chef. It's been a year and a half. Other than some jokes there on Instagram. This stream is brought to you by Zizoo. Thank you, good sir. I got to take some time to drop some credit. First of all, good to be back. I had to take some time off for a variety of reasons, and mainly just too busy with work, almost on the verge of burnout. But give some credit where credit's due, because I've been away for a while. I'm behind. I got some mailing stuff to mail out. But Zizoo sending me random packages straight from the Lego shop at home itself. We got Wolfpack torsos. We got legs. We got swords. We got shields. We got heads. We got, I didn't even know Lego had these. They're like little crabs, and you stick the little swirly ice cream cone piece on the back. Epic. Super fun. Super fun. I spent my day relaxing. I had to work half day, shit-hauled that, got it done, and I got tomorrow off. So this is the time to relax, get some builds done, hang out with y'all. And I jumped the gun, went to town on Peely Bones. And I must say, this set caught me off guard. It looked cool. That's why I bought it. It looked cool. That's the only reason. I'm not a big gamer. I don't play Fortnite. But building this was so much fun. I highly recommend it. I wouldn't say run out and swipe the card. Cheers to Stud City. But I would say if you can find that on a deal, I would buy it. I would buy it. So then what are we building tonight? We're just going to sit here and blab. We're going to crack some jokes. We're going to talk about whatever's going on in the world. I hear you guys got a new Presidente down in the United States. That's always fun. I have zero investment in politics. I think it's super fun to talk about, though. But I'm always up over here when the new president comes in and be like, ooh, what's going to change next? Probably not much. Ooh, are you going? Are you going, Chef? I need to get out. I need to get out more. Waiting for Black Fridays. Nice. Everyone's saying hi. Everyone's saying hi. I assume the west coast of Canada is getting some snow already. I'm jealous. We had a little bit, not a lot. not a lot, and it's all pretty much melted now. It's been gorgeous out, gorgeous. Well, for me, I think +5 is a gorgeous day, +10 is a gorgeous day. Nice and sunny, not too cold. Little ice scraping on the windows in the morning, not too bad. Oh, it's all the same up here too. That's why I think it's funny to talk about politics, because I don't care who's in, what's going on. It's all chaos ensued. Sneak peek. What are we building? A desk is a mess. We got handfuls of goats, minifigures everywhere. These epic custom minifigures from K-Town Bricks. So I got crap everywhere to put away if we get this done. I found this alien mothership at Brick Roundup here in Calgary, the first local Lego event I went to, and it was pretty sweet. I'm not going to lie. After you've been to a brick world, nothing's going to be on that scale, but they had lots of vendors, lots of custom mocks. That's where I had the Paradisa pictures from. A whole lot of fun. Knee construction surgery. Well, that doesn't sound like a lot of fun. Nasty. Well, best to you. Hopefully it goes well. Take her easy, build some Lego, and don't walk around on it too much. Well, that's interesting right out of the gate, my friends. It sure is. Okay, is that convention center sold out already? I'm immune to Trump. There you go. Once you're self-employed and got a good flow going, you're good to go. They're idiots up here too, so it's all the same. I don't know. I think no matter who's in, someone's always not going on their word. Speaking of which, I found a little funny tidbit ticket that I was thinking about the other day, speaking of governments, and that was, dude, we need to stop protesting. We need to stop protesting, because I think all we're doing is really telling on ourselves. Now, this is a little comedy special, but in seriousness, think about it. Especially up here in Canada, we got this carbon tax, which I don't think I'm getting anything out of it as much as I got to pay into it. So we got this carbon tax, even though Canada is already zero emissions because our nonstop land of trees here. And beavers, don't forget the beavers. Everyone loves a good beaver. So we're already zero emissions. We got this carbon tax that's like just bonkers. And that carbon tax, I swear, came from the protests on climate change. And the government's like, fuck, how do we get them to shut up? How do we get all these people to get off the streets, go home, stop causing a ruckus? Let's just tax them for what they're protesting. So I think anytime we protest about something, we're just telling on ourselves, and the government's going to give us a new tax. I thought that was a funny little tidbit right there. Johnny G, bottoms up, making ice blocks. It's warm. Just mentioned Decidius earlier. It's warm. Good to see you, Johnny. Brett's builds, nice. New camera. Looking forward to extra content rolling out. You can actually see the castles and trains in detail. My Lego makes sounds just in my head. Okay, let's get building. It's very interesting coming out with all these train tracks, which is going to make up the center, not the center, the outer hub of this alien spaceship. And the reason why I bought this alien spaceship, unlike Peely Bones, which is super fun to build, looks cool, super fun to build, I highly recommend it, is I'm going to put this in the city. All right, bag one, we get the alien commander straight away. No cliffhangers. Oh no. Mic's check, background music okay. Larry made me jealous because he recently had a blizzard in Colorado. That's up pretty high though. That's super cool. That's up pretty high. Mountain area. We're in the mountains too, but maybe it's just a freak roll through. That's epic. That's epic. So, what's everyone been building? Because I'm not gonna lie, I am a little out of tune. You know, I try and keep up on some stuff, but when you're busy working 6 weeks straight, which I actually kind of enjoyed until it catches up with you. 6 weeks straight, long hours, just crushing it. Hella fun. Monkey Kid, Megalopolis City. Yeah. What up? Let me get that link going on. Figure out how to do that again. What up, Hive? Lurking and dashing and hustling. Nice. Hopefully that's going good for you. Drive safe. Stay safe. They let you have pepper spray down there, you know, like just in case you run into a sketchy situation. Okay, let's share this here. Let's invite. Here we go. Okay. Well, that didn't seem too hard. I'm glad I remembered how to do that. There you go, Mail. Once I hear you beep, I'll let you in. I'm just going to build this epic minifigure, which I'm not going to lie, it's kind of the reason why I bought this set. The spaceship's cool. I needed this alien commander in my life. Not just as a collector, not just as a Lego enthusiast, but for the city, for the kids, for the boys. Speaking of boys, asked Mail Hosco, speaking of boys, did anyone else grab some of those Girth Gang Dark Troopers? Whew. I'm excited.
Long time no see.
How you been, Mail? Hopefully all is well and you're not working too hard, but just hard enough.
Yeah, well, working hard or hardly working.
Which one do you choose?
Right now I'm hardly working because my job seems like I am hardly working.
So your contract, it doesn't keep you that busy day in, day out? Or you get a set schedule?
Yeah, well, so see, there's a whole lot of stuff I could say, and I think majority of people might have a brief understanding, but not the full story. So I got my job back on what was it? The first week of October. So it's been 6 weeks. So I originally signed up. Well, my agent let me know that my former employer had a 3-week contract on offer. I accepted. They extended me for 3 weeks. After that, because they needed extra help for the transition. Then my 3-week extension ran up, and they realized that they're not ready to make the transition, so they're going to keep me on doing what I originally signed up for, because they had me using the new software, which they're not ready for.
Sounds like it's still been pretty busy for you.
So that means after 2 weeks of using the new software, which I really don't like, now I'm back to using the old software because they're not ready to upgrade to the new software, which I do enjoy. And using the old software doesn't seem like work because I actually enjoy it.
Let me switch cameras. And then, Mail, we're going to jump into... that was a good catch-up. I'm glad you're staying out of trouble and still getting some time to build Lego.
Let's see those cool-looking aliens.
And then I want to see your Megapolis city here. Okay, Let me switch. How do I do this again? That's not that good.
Let's see the Motherlord.
Alien Commander. That's actually a pretty tight minifigure with that headpiece. Lego needs to get back to the roots and do more stuff like that.
I don't think Johnny understands how StreamYard works.
I'm building the monkey cube. Why?
He wants other people's StreamYard accounts to play my StreamYard cutaways.
It all works out. It all works out. So where's your Megapolis city?
Well,
And how are you going to change it and add it to your other one, your strip mall you had?
Well, I just moved my laptop, so let me show it.
Okay, let me get you up here.
This is rather fragile because it's connected via Technic pin.
Are you done, or still working on it?
Dude,
this is like sucks when it's like that.
I'm starting bag 24.
Nice. I'm starting on bag 1. Like the Team B says hello to Hive right on.
There it is.
Oh, I like that. That's pretty tight.
Yeah, so it was interesting before I woke up. Not because I wanted to wake up, but because my body told me to wake up, and I was watching people on Twitch. And I was just surfing on Twitch, waiting for this stream to start.
Thanks, buddy.
Because I knew this stream was going to be the flagship of my whole Sunday.
That's a pretty boring Sunday, but I appreciate the nice comment.
It is a boring Sunday, but now that I negotiated a second contract extension with my boss, I told her I don't want to work full time. I want to work part time. I've got plenty of money by working 6 weeks of full time. I don't need as much money anymore. I want more work-life balance. I want to spend more times with my friends, with people like you and everyone else in the chat.
What up, Big Nate? I am definitely unable.
And
I hear you, Mayo. I need more work-life balance.
Yeah.
Just so not right now.
That means more time for building Lego sets like this. And so one of those streams I was watching earlier was Matt Mellish on Twitch, and it was one of his Twitch streams building this set, which actually convinced me to buy it.
Well, that's cool because now I've seen yours, and now I'm convinced to buy it because I think I'm going to slam that in the Ninjago area somehow.
Yeah, because this Megapolis matches well with the City of Lanterns. It's got the same technique. It's got the same Technic framing for the structural support of the city, and it's got similar architecture. And you could line them up next to each other, and it blends well with the Ninjago City modulars. And what I'm going to do, like what I did with the City of Lanterns, is I'm going to take the individual shops and stores out. I'm going to shrink their depth to be 6 studs wide instead of 8 studs wide, and then it'll fit into my city.
So I got a question for you then, because you're standing there right there. I don't know if you remember when I got that City of Lanterns, I got 2, and I built one mirror built so I could stick them back to back and have that track go all the way around. Yeah. If I get 2 of those, can I build one backwards and stick them back to back? You
could do that if you remove the little barbecue pit at the back. You could stick them back to back.
Oh, I'll do that, no problem. I'll chuck that barbecue pit right out.
You could probably get 2 of these, remove the little barbecue stand on the back, and it would fit inside of a 48 by 48 base plate.
Nice. You know what I like about this era of Lego sets? I feel like this is a 2010. What's it say on the box here? 2011. Because they were starting to get a little bit more detail, but they were still simple enough that, you know, you don't have to spend all day. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but sometimes you just want to play with the set versus building it for 16 hours.
Yeah, because the way I look at most Lego sets and the generations of humanity, I like to break things down into the 3 years at a time. And so I think that, well, so the way I like to break down, if we're talking about Lego, 2010 to 2013, keep in mind that 1 year, that's 1 year after the Lego train what you're building, 2 years after the Lego train power functions, 3 years before the Lego moving. And so that era was, it had a lot of creativity, not the massive boom of licensed sets that we get years later.
Breathe in that vintage air. Yes, Johnny. I agree.
And there's a lot of problems with the sets from 2010 to 2013, but there's a lot of good things also. And I have a little bit of nostalgia goggles for the year 2011 because that's one of the years I had one of the catalogs for. And so I remember 2011, that was my Lego City Police Station. That's when I got into watching Lego videos on YouTube, and I remember people reviewing the Alien mothership, and I thought it was super cool how they had the narrow gauge tracks.
Are you using your phone? Is that why that beep went so loud? I don't know if that happened to anyone else, but wow, I was like, that was a good one.
Yeah, I have a Mac, and all of my text messages come through my Mac too.
As long as we know where the source is coming from, it's not just in my head, we're okay.
Yeah, so I can text message people from my Mac if I really wanted to. Yeah.
It's pronounced fun hole, Johnny. That's a good one.
Yeah, I know that some certain Sunday streamers who have now proclaimed themselves as snowflakes have a problem with that name.
With Funhole?
Yeah, Funhole. People.
Is it a problem with the name, or is it a problem with their damn pronunciation of it? Like what? Like, you know what? Some of those movies, like Universal Studios made, some of them were pretty horrendous about pretty horrendous stuff. Are we shutting down the movie production now? Like, where are we stopping? Who cares about the damn name?
I think there are just some people in this world who can't deal with the fact that anything in this world can have a sexual reference tied to it. Some people just can't deal with that. And also, those same people will never acknowledge the fact that 90% of the greatest songs in history were written by people who were horny.
Or under a good influence. You want to know what I think the problem is? And this is just my intake on a lot of things in the world. Is I think we live in a day and age of convenience. So hear me out. Back in the day, you had to, check on the chickens, feed the chickens, water the chickens, collect the chicken eggs, times a whole level of gardening and making your own clothes or whatever. All these modern technologies, day and age of convenience. Humans don't know what to do with themselves. We're like so bored. Like anything you can go pick at gets picked at. Can't believe they're cutting Christmas songs just because it was cold outside. Come on.
Yeah. And for example,
anything nice.
And for example, arguably the greatest song of all time, "Stairway to Heaven," the lyrics, Led Zeppelin, and she's buying a stairway to heaven, clearly Led Zeppelin is horny for whoever is buying a Stairway to Heaven. They are horny for that girl. And so
I don't know.
people need to get over it, and those are the people who are offended at the name Funhole.
To me, it's just like the good old saying: "There's bigger issues in the world."
Yeah, and like you should have seen all of the people throwing jabs at each
Mike
other.
Tyson.
No, you should have seen the people throwing jabs at each other just because they disagreed about the American election on Twitter X.
Oh yeah, that's why I love talking about politics. One, I don't throw jabs because I'm not invested in anything to care enough about. But I liked to just hear people's thoughts about whatever and whatever and whatever. To me, it's interesting.
Because what I like doing, particularly particularly in a debate forum, social media that Twitter X is, it's not really meant for sharing your it's not really meant for sharing images of yourself. It's meant for sharing your inner thoughts and allowing people who think totally different from you come at you, bro.
But
And
that's outside human nature.
and as a neutral, it was a beautiful thing seeing people argue over stuff that in the end doesn't matter.
What up, Sidious?
I'm so glad I haven't been on social media in a bunch of weeks.
Well, you missed all of the people calling Trump whatever and Kamala whatever, which I enjoyed.
I'm not into politics, but I'm used to Trump just I don't like him. I don't hate him. I'm just used to him being Trump because ever since I was a kid, he was always on the news here. I'm used to it. Like he owns half the buildings in New York City, or he did at one point. So I'm just numb to it. I never really got into all that shit. At Lego TV, this is the Calvin Klein stud, the Calvin stud camo here, right here for you. I did this for Lego Team B. This fabric is the Calvin stud. He'll get it.
And the reason why I'm a neutral is because I try to protect my brand.
That's another good one.
I don't like Trump is a smart businessman. He's done some shady stuff, but I mean, like in New York City, I mean, it was a lot of stuff was built by the mob. It's been shady here for a long time. And, I mean, dude, Times Square when I was a really little kid was all these porn, sex shows. Times Square was crazy. Now to see what it is now is night and day from what it was when I was a little kid. Like it was all murders and it was crazy. Like you wouldn't go into Times Square for it was crazy. It was like a sex district. It was like Amsterdam. It was crazier than Amsterdam. So
Amsterdam.
Yeah, I'm not kidding. Times Square, like looking up.
If it was like Amsterdam, people would be eating weed brownies in coffee shops.
No, they were doing worse than that. It just wasn't legal. Like dude, Times Square when I was a kid was just bad. It was bad.
I was going to say that's almost happening up here, Mayo. It's definitely like walking into any other store. It's like product. But that's just because I think the government's making money.
It's crazy what Times Square has become now because it's like it's all cleaned up now. It's a huge tourist attraction. But it was. There's actually a good Netflix show called the Times Square Murders or something like that, where it shows. Watch it, and you'll see how it was back when I was a little kid too. I was like 5 years old, and it was like that. Even
they just shipped them to San Francisco.
Well, they did. Mayor Ed Koch came in and he changed it all up. The mayor just switched it up, and I was running from that guy as a kid because that's when he hated graffiti. He hated where like the city used to be like so. That's where like graffiti started, the culture of it, in New York City. And I was just young enough to get into it at a real young age, and he was like he created this task force to chase it all down. Like it was, he really props to him because that guy cleaned up the city big time.
Nice. You always been a pretty creative person?
Well, I mean, that's kind of the only talent I have. So, I was always just into, like the music scene, art scene, graffiti, like underground. I was just lucky to grow up in an area where it was prevalent. Like
Flourishing, yeah.
yeah, so I just always, when people were partying in high school, I was going to shows or going to write graffiti at a legal wall, or I was just more into art. I just it was always like that. So I don't know. That's
And when my friends were partying in high school, I was being an academic and researching crap.
Story Sidious Lego Team B wanted to see your outfit on full scale.
I can't stand up, so it's more Calvin camo though. More Calvin set camo Team B.
And so for the people who are impressed with the things that I know, you can thank my late high school years for that.
I should turn on the lights behind me so I'm not sitting in shadows, but I can't even move to do that. So it's driving me nuts, man. I can't, I built all my backlog sets and I can't stand up and move to get into bins or anything like that. I'm going insane. I'm literally going insane.
Oh no.
I can't walk my dog, dude. My dad has to come here, and I had to move back to Bridgeport from Brooklyn and live in my art studio. My dad has to walk my dog 3 times a day.
I don't want to ever have to get stuck in Bridgeport.
Well, I always have the freedom to leave, but I can't now because he's got to walk my dog and I can't move and can't go grocery shopping. He's doing all that shit for me. So,
damn, how long does that go down for?
Dude, I fell in the shower like an idiot, dude. I slipped in the shower like an old cliche.
Is that what started it, or recently after your surgery you slipped?
No, that's what did it. That's what did it. I have a genetic bone condition where I don't have cartilage in my joints. My brother had the same thing. I don't know. People have known that. My brother committed suicide in his 20s. He had the same condition I have. And he got so he was a hunter, outdoorsman, and he couldn't move anymore. And he got depressed and he killed himself. I didn't get the condition until I didn't even think I had it. And then my 40s, I got it. And so that's what did it. In the shower, I don't have cartilage, so I slipped and turned the wrong way, and boom, I tore my ACL and MCL. So,
damn, too.
Yeah, it sucks, but it's I'm used to living bone on bone. Normally I have no cartilage, so I'm used to bone on bone. I don't even take painkillers. I just deal with it. It's something I just have to live with. It's like it's called. So the Latin name is really long. It's osteo. It's hard to pronounce it, but it's like having arthritis in your 40s or 50s, which sucks. But it is what it is. But this sucks because I've never ripped muscles like this. This sucks. But
kind of scared me because work, I got this crazy pain in my arm, especially if there's any weight in it. So I don't want to have to stop for a surgery. What up, Scotty? PPP.
Yeah, speaking of work injuries, I had really bad neck injury.
Yeah, that I wouldn't want either.
Yeah, I mean, I was just sitting at my computer, and then I felt, something's not right with my neck, and I've had it for the past week, and I've had to use so much cream and take so much ibuprofen just to ease the pain. And I've had to change the way I move my body. It's been a nightmare. Trying to get up out of bed every morning has felt like a death sentence. Because you have to move you have to put upwards pressure on your neck, which is trying to pull your body down when you're getting out of bed, and it hurts like crazy.
Now I know why all these athletes still fear having ACL, MCL injuries, because it does suck. You can't do anything. It sucks. Even with a brace on, they can't do anything. It's hell.
That does not sound fun.
Yeah, and it takes 2 to 3 months to recover. So
yes, and what really sucks for an athlete is when they feel like they got kicked in the back of their leg, and then they turn around and no one's behind them, and they realize that they just tore their Achilles.
I did do that. That's actually, take it back. That is one muscle I ripped when I was younger. It was my Achilles, but playing football. But there's three pieces that hold your Achilles on, and luckily only one of mine popped. So I didn't have full Achilles surgery. I just had to have four of them fixed.
Yeah.
But I was young then. I was like 17 years old. And now,
I am so lucky health-wise.
now being 50, it just sucks, dude. Sucks.
And Mark, yeah, and Mark, I'm not sure if you remember when Toronto won the NBA championship 5 years ago, but the reason they did that is because Kevin Durant had an Achilles injury that was undiagnosed. They thought it was a calf injury, and they went with that for 2 months until someone came in and said no, it's an Achilles, because Kevin Durant was in I think the Western Conference semifinals, and he pulled up on the sideline, thinking someone kicked him in his leg, turned around, no one was there, and he limped to the sideline. And now we know that's what an Achilles feels like.
Yeah, it pops, it snaps like.
But the worst Achilles I ever saw. The worst Achilles I ever saw was when the Amazon cameras literally caught Aaron Rodgers' Achilles pop.
Yeah.
Out of his leg. That was the worst injury I've ever seen.
That's like when you see people like fracture bones and it comes out of their skin, like when they bust their like. I was painting a house with when I was working on it was actually one of my good friends from college was doing it with me, and he fell off a ladder and his leg got stuck in the leg of the ladder. So when he fell, the ladder fell, his femur came out of his thigh, like boom,
nasty.
3 inches of it. I was puking, like I literally was puking my brains out as the ambulance came. Like it was disgusting.
Johnny, I don't. I can't. I think Mail sent Paradisa to me. I just can't find it right now.
If anyone wants to use my Paradisa clip on their StreamYard, they can always email me for a request of an MP4.
MP4. Okay, I'll just go look through all my MP4s. I'll find it.
Well, I only email people MP4s.
Why not MP5s?
Because that's not the video format.
Ooh,
I'm out of the loop on all the new sets and everything that's coming out. I haven't paid attention to anything.
And StreamYard only accepts MP4 files.
What set is that, Macro? What are you building?
I am building from 2011.
Oh, it's an old set.
Alien Mothership.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And that's the Alien Conquest set that has the narrow gauge track in it. That
reminds me of the it was a spin-off of Classic Space. I forget what it was called. It was like Mars something where they had the tubes where you like had air pumps.
Life on Mars. Life on Mars in 2001, Mars Mission in 2007.
And you could like the air pumps, you could shoot the figures through these tubes like into the ship that you built.
Yeah. Yeah,
it didn't last long, but they
made that for Life on Mars, and then they remade that set for Mars Mission.
But supposedly they're pretty rare and expensive because I guess they didn't they didn't do it for a long time. So.
Yeah. And actually, Life on Mars wasn't a sub theme of Classic Space, because Life on Mars came out 14 years after the end of Classic Space.
Oh, Scott's Blocks, you'll love this story too, because you're an electrician, dude. The same dude that his bone came out of his leg. When we were at UConn, they just won the basketball national championship, so the whole campus is going insane, dude. Then the firemen came in, like people were throwing sinks out of windows, flipping couches, cars, like the whole campus was just a riot. So this dude, he's trying to pull the smoke alarms are going off. So he's trying to pull the smoke alarms down. The fire department comes in. As he's pulling the smoke alarm off, someone threw a beer on the dude, and he got zapped. He had fire.
Holy shit!
It severed his fingers, like it lit, not fully through, but it was like I've never seen it. It looked like someone cut his fingers with a knife, and it was just from like being electrocuted, like
blown out.
No luck whatsoever. My boy
Nasty.
Anthony. Oh my god. But it was funny, but it wasn't funny. It looked like someone took a knife to his fingers, but it was just from a wire. Like because someone threw a beer on him while he was holding live wires.
Oh,
Oh
that's crazy.
yeah.
Was that beer Milwaukee's best or whatever?
That was the first national championship that UConn basketball won. The whole it was like I've never seen anything as crazy as that. The whole school was just out of control.
And so, if this is the content that you are looking for, please, what comes after that?
Don't forget to tweet that like. You know what sucks when you drop a piece and you hear it go ting, 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 ting across the Lego floor.
I've gotten pretty good though at listening to kind of which direction it goes, but you still have to hunt for it. But I've gotten good at honing which direction because I have hardwood floors. So yeah, it sucks.
That's why I call it a Lego floors because there's literally Lego all over the down floor.
Oh, dude, it's my father when he, like I said, I just moved back to my art studio in Bridgeport, so because I need help from people, and my dad was about to vacuum under my couch. Like, no, don't do that. Don't. I've got Lego under there. Please don't do that. I'm like, you're gonna suck up all my Lego. I have to wait until I'm healed. I'm gonna pull the couch out and go through it. Like, cause he's like, whoa, I can't vacuum. I'm like, no, you're gonna suck up all the bricks I've dropped. No.
Wait, there's art studios in Bridgeport. I thought there were no creative people in Bridgeport.
Yeah, there's actually a lot, but it's more or less it's a condo I bought as an investment, but it's a loft, so I turned it into an art studio because it's one of those giant 14-foot ceiling brick. It's an old warehouse, so I turned it into. It should be a condo, but I made it my art studio.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. Is that there's an art studio in Bridgeport, but the owner of it doesn't live in Bridgeport because as we both know, the mayor of Bridgeport is a pit bull dog who has marked his territory at the rundown service station.
Dude, he's been in jail 3 times and he still gets elected.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's been in jail 3 times and he gets out and he gets reelected, dude. But,
that sounds like Mayor Quimby.
So what's he doing right then that people want to keep electing him?
He comes from he's Mayor Ganem. The Ganems are like a very powerhouse legal family here. He has I don't know how many siblings, 6, 7 siblings, and they're all lawyers. And he's a politician. Like he just keeps. I mean, they were obviously tied into the mafia at one point. It's just it's shady tri-state area, New York City crap.
So shit trigged. You see,
you can Google it, dude. The dude, Mayor Ganem, Bridgeport. He's been arrested 3 times, went to jail 3 times, and he's still mayor. They reelected him. It's crazy, dude. Crazy.
That's like the mayor of the city of Bricks or the mayor of my Lego city. I think that guy's kind of corrupt or there's something going on there. I haven't really figured it out yet. But
yeah, because From Blocks to Mocks resigned as the co-host of Real Hoeg. The next time we do a Lego City update, there's going to be another election and people will have to throw their hat into the ring if they don't want the communist a dictator to run unelected again. Because now
Mayo knows that it's a famous Family Guy episode where they think they're in the North Pole. And it's these iron gates and it's these red candy cane painted smokestacks, which I can see from the window here. And they think they make a joke that it's the North Pole when it's just all abandoned factories that they turn into places like what I have now.
Like they convert them into apartments almost.
Yeah. That's all they're all condos because it's like the only part of the outside the New York City area that still has waterfront property that hasn't been used up. So the people are scrambling to buy all these factories and turn them into luxury apartments. So.
Yeah,
that's smart.
See, I wish they were doing that in my city, because in my city there's just abandoned property everywhere, and I don't know why the local councils and the state government don't either reclaim that land as crown land or force the owners to sell to venture capitalists who will actually contribute taxpayers' dollars. I don't understand.
That's what happens up here.
I thought with all that abandoned property, why don't I talk to a real estate agent and ask what the cheapest cardboard box is?
Yeah, the cool thing too is when I bought the place, they give you tax breaks. So for 15 years, I only paid taxes $1 a square foot. $1 a square foot.
Well, that'd be handy versus whatever regular property tax.
Yeah, I was basically paying here property taxes are very high in this area, and like northern Jersey, southwestern Connecticut, anything that you can commute to New York City, there's very high taxes. But that's why they did it, because they knew people weren't going to move there. But it was the only waterfront property left where they could people could capitalize on it. So the city gave a deal, and I was paying. This place is what, 1,800 or 2,000 square foot. So I was paying them $2,000 a year for 15 years.
I'd love to go buy an old big ass warehouse and convert it to livable studio, shop, everything. Just in
it's
one
cool,
mess.
but the lighting here, that's why usually when on YouTube it's so dark, I have to go into my kitchen because the ceilings are so high that even when you turn the lights on, in the daytime it's flooded with light because sunlight comes in these huge windows, but at night you can't. It's dark because the ceilings are so high. It's hard to light the place.
Yeah. And for those who don't know what a cardboard box is a piece of property the size of a storage unit that costs less than 10 grand.
I like those people though. There's people that turn those light containers into apartments and they stack them up. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, because I've actually seen some pictures of neighborhoods on Pinterest where it's just a whole street for reclaimed shipping containers.
Yeah, containers. Yeah.
Well,
And people move into them, and even with the cost of insulating them, they end up paying less than 50 grand.
Yeah.
And they choose to move there because they are so dead poor broke.
That's my retirement plan.
They've done some cool things with them. I've seen people do some crazy cool things with them. They don't do it here, but Oregon has a bunch of them, I'm pretty sure, outside of Seattle. I think Maryland, too. I think outside of Baltimore, where Hive is, there's some, too. I'm not sure, but it's like, you know how people build these little houses now? Everyone wants these little houses, like a trend. But that's kind of what they do with these freight containers. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, I'm not surprised that stuff happens in the Pacific Northeast. In the Pacific Northwest, because there's a lot of gnarly stuff that happens in the Pacific Northwest.
Oh, dude, that reminds me of what I was talking about snow earlier in the chat. Larry, I was jealous because Larry in Colorado got like a big blizzard recently. I'm waiting for snow. Usually doesn't hit here till like just after Thanksgiving, Christmas time. But it reminded me to talk about it. Larry teamed up with Brick Slopes. So now Larry is having a convention there's a Brick Slopes going to happen in Colorado.
Yeah, they announced that on someone's stream recently.
Yeah,
you don't want the snow. You got a blown out knee. How you can get around in that?
I mean, I can't leave the house to begin with, so it doesn't matter to me. I love snow. My dog loves
Just
it.
like
too.
the look of it.
But
you know what? We were having this. I was having this conversation on someone's stream.
Right.
So you live in Alberta. You live in Connecticut. In your areas, is it called snow plowing or snow grooming?
Well, snow grooming where I am is mostly in the mountains. That's when they snow groom the snow groomers are these little like tiny plows that they use to do to clean the trails and maintain snow on the mountains. But I know it's different everywhere else, but here that's what they call it. It's plowing in the streets, snow plowing on the streets, but snow grooming is more like for ski resorts.
Exactly what Sidious said is how we look at it here too.
They're smaller. They're little kind of they call them like
Maintenance
cubs.
versus removal.
Yeah, they're little like cub bulldozers. They're smaller bulldozers with like
Dude,
plow.
this one's kind of girthy.
Legos made sets actually, snow grooming sets that of what I see at least on these snowboarding mountains and ski mountains. So yeah, most of the streets they call it snow plowing, and Bridgeport doesn't. They don't pay. Our taxes don't go to it, so we don't really have much snow plowed. We get snow, but it doesn't get plowed, so you need a 4-wheel drive in the winter here.
Yeah, because
Oh, it's mandatory up here.
I know that states like Colorado, because of Aspen, they're so used to ski tourists that they just universally call it snow grooming.
Yeah, it's like that in New Hampshire, Vermont, like up a little. You go a little further north, Maine. Like my brother lives way up in Maine, above those states, and they call it that there too. So
yeah,
it
because
just depends where you are.
yeah. So I guess Maine and New Hampshire would have enough ski resorts that they just call it snow grooming as a universal term.
Well, there, like, it's crazy. I thought I got a lot of snow here. Like the New York and Southern Connecticut winters are pretty harsh. Until recently, they've been mild. Like El Nino, the past few years, they've been mild. But like, I'm used to getting snow a few times a week, and then it clears away. Then you get more. When my brother moved to Maine, and I went to visit him, his lawn was like 4 feet of snow. And he's like, "Oh yeah, that's all built up." He's like, "I don't see grass for 4 months." He's like, "The snow just keeps coming and coming and coming." Like up in those states, it just snows and snows and snows. Like,
Yep.
that's how probably where macro is when the winter hits. Is probably how it is there too. Because Toronto, I know that's how it is.
Yep. Sometimes, I mean, so far it's been pretty good, but usually it'll be about 6 months of no grass, 7 months.
Hey TJ, I'm building.
Cheers, TJ.
I'm
Sorry, I
building
stayed
the Monkey Kid Megapolis. I know it's not Ninjago, but it's the closest thing. It's the second closest thing I have to Ninjago. And also, I heard from TJ that that the City Gardens is going to retire.
That's a good one.
Macro, is that like a custom track or is that the old school train track?
It's the narrow gauge track.
I know nothing about Lego train tracks, like nothing. So I know there's different kinds. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, I haven't seen this thin track in a while. It's almost like easy monorail track.
Yeah, because I believe the last set that the narrow gauge track was sold in was the 2010 something Twins roller coaster with that ugly medium azure track.
I was gonna ask, does the little roller coaster wheels fit on that track?
No, because the little roller coaster wheels were designed long after the last set to include the narrow gauge track. If anyone knows Indiana Jones Temple of Doom, that set from 2009, the minecart track, that also has the narrow gauge track. And for some of the sets like the 2012 City Mine, that doesn't have the narrow gauge track, but the straight rails in it are the same gauge.
I was so pissed that they canceled the modern Temple of Doom set.
So was I. Cause I was on a stream with Al Toy World, BFAB, and someone else, and we were hyping up the new Indiana Jones sets, and I got so hyped, even though it wasn't as good as the original. I was so hyped for it, and then they pulled the plug.
I just wanted I have the original Mola Ram, the enemy character, the guy that's like the guy who pulls hearts out. The horns on his helmet, like the original Lego figure was cool, but they had a better version of him in the new one, and they canceled it. I was so bummed out because I wanted that fig.
Yeah, I don't care about the minifigures of most themes, but
I don't know.
The play features of those Indiana Jones sets are really good. And now I've heard that the Dial of Destiny sets are going away too.
I buy certain things because I want to make mocks for them, you know. So that's mainly why I care. But
See, I was watching a Jane Briggs.
Mayo.
I've been watching Jane Briggs reviews lately, and I like the way that he's been taking digs at the minifig collectors.
Mayo, we got a slight issue.
What?
I took my little wagon from my Monkey Kids city, and it fits on these little tracks. I thought we said they don't.
Is it the same gauge?
Yeah, because these are only total 6 stud wide, so the tracks are actually 4 studs wide, 2 studs apart in the middle.
So those little roller coaster wheels fit?
The ones from this thing do.
But yeah, those are the ones I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Again, though, I don't know much. Like, I'm so lost.
If these little tabs weren't on the side to hook onto the actual roller coaster track, I think it'd probably be okay.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. You could build those. You could take the wheels out, and you don't need that base with the side tabs. You can rebuild something that probably will work.
Oh, for sure, yeah. A chassis of your own.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to do some on-the-fly research and development.
Yep. I've never really been into Lego trains. Like, I have the space monorail from when I was a kid, and both myself and my brother got it. Somehow we had extra track too. I don't know how we got the extra track, but now my nephews have it. My mom gave it to my nephews, and it drives me nuts, dude, because that's the only kind of track I've ever owned, except for little roller coaster sets here and there that you get purchased, roller coaster tracks that are modern. But that old, I remember building in my parents' living room we built these giant monorail tracks. My mom gave them to my nephews, and he has it in his bedroom, dude. And I stare at it every time I go there. I'm like, dude, he lives in Maine. My brother who lives in Maine, his kid has my monorail track, and it drives me nuts.
Does he take care of it and show it respect?
Yeah, he takes care of it. But
yeah, I'll probably have to let him know sternly if it doesn't come back in the same condition.
Well, he's also the same nephew that I gave. I had 3 sealed New York City Yoda figs that I got for free because I was there for the promotion. I was walking and I walked through Times Square, and Lego was having this giant life-size build X-Wing. They were giving out these NYC Yoda figs. So I had 3 of them. I gave him, and now they're worth thousands of dollars, these little figs sealed. I gave it to that nephew, and I said, don't open it. Just keep it. I was trying to teach him responsibility. He was like 8 years old. He opened it like a fool, but
oh no!
I tried to teach him collecting. He was still young, but
yeah,
it's still worth like a few grand to open. But it's hard to prove that it's original unless it's sealed. So it's because people make so many fakes of them. They're worth so much money. And I got them. Yeah, that nephew. He takes care of stuff, but the Yoda, I was pissed because I was like, dude, I told you not to open it. Like, just put it on your shelf.
Now, I know this is a bad. I know this is a bad comparison, but I just checked, and the width of this. So just to actually know, you know what? Let me get this 2 wide plate in between here. Get this to go up next to each other. The width of that I just inspected is the same width as this. So they must have designed these roller coaster tracks for the inside edge to be the same width as the inside edge of these, because these are the narrow gauge rails. They never made actual narrow gauge straight tracks. They only made the narrow gauge straight rails, because those narrow gauge straight rails are the same as the old buildable tracks from the blue 4.5 volt track and the grey 12 volt track.
There we go. More food for thought. You're not limited to your mocking experience.
Breaking news on Saturday Shenanigans, they cleverly designed the roller coaster track to be the same width as that.
Well, hopefully they keep that system up and don't change it too much, because even though it's a new product or whatever, they're Colin, or you want to do with it. But at least it's on the same metric or whatever numbered system that it all still works.
That's what Lego's pretty damn good about. That is they keep the system. They make sure everything can work in ways you don't think it's going to work together. So they keep it very precise usually. That's why I'm curious. I know about those tracks. The only tracks I ever owned were the old Space Monorail when I was a kid, and then recently, like I said, when you get a few little the roller coaster track and sets here and there now. So I don't know. That's why I asked you, looking at that old set you're building. I'm always curious because I know nothing about Lego train tracks.
So here's a suggestion for someone.
I haven't seen these.
If you own a bunch of the light bluish grey roller coaster tracks, and you think that it's a waste putting the light bluish grey straight rails on your Daily Bugle, you could take those off and add them to your light grey roller coaster tracks and make the straight lines longer, if you wanted to.
So you're using the Bugle rails for which roller? Okay, just the old, yeah.
Yeah, you could take the light bluish grey straight rails off of your Daily Bugle and extend the straight tracks of your light bluish grey roller coaster track. Because what I do with my roller coaster track is I don't have a carnival in my city, so I use roller coaster track as small light rail railways.
Would you need to do that though, versus let's say just ordering more of that same track? And for me, I say that is because I want stuff to look consistent too. I'm just picky like that.
Yeah, if you've got roller coaster tracks going through a building, or if you actually build proper stations, then you could get away with it not looking as uniform.
Interesting. Or if you just wanted it even sunken in the ground, you'd use those rails.
Yeah, because you can't really sink.
No.
You can't sink the roller coaster track into the ground, but you can sink those straight rails into the ground. And I know people that have made tram tracks that only go backwards and forwards. They don't go around in a circle, and they've made them narrow gauge trams just to fit the width of one minifigure standing, and they've had it embedded into the ground like a streetcar tram, because all streetcars are trams, but not all trams are streetcars, and they've inset those rails into the ground.
Makes me want to redo parts of my city now.
Dude, speaking of being precise, I have a bone to pick with Sean Acuff. I need to text him, dude. I'm pretty pissed because I've known about the Girth Trooper. He's been sending me pictures for months now. I mean, we always talk about designs, this and that, back and forth. And I keep telling him, we've gotten major arguments over this. I'm like, Sean, when you want to put the ACOB logo on something that small, on a UV printed fig, you need to let me know and what size it is, and I'll size the vector logo properly in the proper Adobe Illustrator program. I'll make it the size you need and send it to you to put on the figure. And we get in huge fights about this. And he did the same goddamn shit with that dark figure. I told him, I'm like, dude, when you're going to release it, tell me what size you need a logo, and I'll send it to you perfectly crystal clear. And he just ignores me, dude. It drives me fucking nuts.
So because the logo was just shrunken down in the wrong manner, it's not as clear as it could be?
Yes, the goes and takes it off of their shirts or this or that, and it's rasterized. It's not even vector art at that point. I have the vector files. I will size it to whatever you need at the vector size and send it to you properly. So all I want is it to print correctly. That's all I want as a professional. I understand they're not professional designers. They're just having fun. But it's like, dude, I argue with them constantly. I'm like, bro, just tell me what size you need it at, and I will give it to you in the correct professional format so it prints correctly. I'm not saying that it's not printing correctly now, but it's a little fuzzy. It could be.
You should have told me that. You know why? Because now I'm going to go nicely heckle them for paying top dollar for the product that's not top.
Dude, Sean and I I've argued with him over this. He said, why are you getting so mad? I'm like, dude, because this is what I do for a living, bro. Like, I'm just, telling you, just tell me what size you need it at, and I'll give it to you at that size.
I just want the best for you.
And like,
and you're in cahoots with each other.
Yeah, I know. I like that's what I don't get. I'm always like, dude, I'll give it to you. All I want is for it to look as best as it can professionally. Like, and so it's kind of my fault because when I give him the new logos he wanted, I should have given him at every size. But I can't just make a million files at all different sizes. So I told him, I'm like, dude, you got to tell me when you're gonna design a fig. Say, all right, I need it at like 1 centimeter or 1 millimeter by the blah blah blah. You know, just tell me what size you need it, and I'll give it to you correctly, like so it looks correct. I'm not saying that it looks bad the way it is, but it could be a lot
pretty
cleaner. I just want to do it. I'm a Citizen Brick fan. Joe and I, like, we have the same mindset where we want to do it exactly how Lego does it professionally. That's how I want to do it. Like, that's how I was trained. I worked for Lego. I mean, I know how they do it. So that's all I want to do is do it correctly. And it
That's fair.
People take something I did that's rasterized and it's low format on the web and try to force it into shit. Especially if you UV printed on top of it. It drives me bonkers, man.
Yeah, because like even I know how even I know the advantages of vectors versus rasters, because when I was in uni and we had to use ArcGIS Pro, a lot of the maps we made were simplistic because they were assignmental. They weren't professionally designed maps. And oh my god, the difference between a square raster and a hexagonal vector, the quality was so much
better. Like raster art, the easy way to explain it is like video game. It's like pixel. It's pixelated. And vector art is done with calculus. It's done with an algorithm, so it stays smooth. And like that's everything Lego makes is pad printed vector art.
Because like when you like to put it into layman's term, if anyone grew up with the NES or the SNES and you played the 8-bit Super Mario Brothers, that's what a raster looks like. A hexagonal vector doesn't have straight corners. It has It has smoothed off round corners so that it looks natural and not a boxing like a 2x4 Lego brick.
Especially when you're printing very small on figures. That's why they use pad printing at Lego, because it's damp. It's not UV is sprayed like spray paint. So if the UV printer isn't calibrated correctly, you're gonna get on top of using a fuzzy rasterized art, you're gonna get these little weird edges to it.
Damn, now I'm gonna go look at it first thing now.
Yeah.
This is very nerdy stuff that would only drive people like me nuts because that's what we do all day, you know. But it's like I've argued with Sean many times. I'm like, dude, just tell me what size you need in the logo, and I'll do it. And he gets all excited in these projects, and he just uses what he has. And I'm like, yo, you're driving me crazy, man. You're driving me crazy. I love Sean, but you're driving me nuts.
Yeah, and that's why if you go searching for NFTs, a lot of the good NFTs that sell for over $10, they're all drawn with they're all drawn with Vector, and all of the NFTs that sell for less than a quarter are all drawn with raster on 2003 Windows XP Paint.
The crazy thing is Adobe Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator are their brother and sister programs. Photoshop was never meant to be a design program. It's a photo retouching program that graphic designers use to place raster art inside of Vector. Every file I ever sent to a printer in my entire career was an Adobe Illustrator file with Photoshop images placed inside. The thing you have to pay attention to, like what scale you're at, what resolution you're using. There's a reason why designers go to school for years for this. We don't just, these are a lot of shit you got to learn, and there's a formula to it. So I understand that people that just call themselves graphic designers that do it as a hobby, they don't get that shit. But when I see it and I'm trying to make the best product I can, it drives me fucking nuts. Because dude, I could have easily just giving you that logo at that size. It would have taken 2 seconds.
Everyone would be happy.
Yeah, because I've designed my fair share of stuff on Microsoft Paint, and because that uses rasters, the quality when you enlargen it into a 12 into a 1440 by 720 pixel size, the quality
it gets bad. Yeah,
the quality looks garbage.
Yeah, but if it was a vector file, you could take it from a millimeter to like 10 feet on a billboard when like it's nothing. So it like that's the thing.
And doesn't Adobe Illustrator use vectors?
Yeah, Illustrator is all vector. Yeah, and Photoshop is all raster. So.
Yeah, like, and that's why you have to pay more for Illustrator than Photoshop, because the quality is so much better.
Yeah, and the tools are both the same. It's just it's 2 different formats. And now Photoshop has what they call smart objects, where you can actually place vector art inside raster art, but it's still not the best way to do it. The best way to do it is the way they originally designed it. So it's a pet peeve of mine. Sean and I argue over it constantly. He thinks I'm overreacting all the time, and I'm like, dude, even if I'm overreacting, it's a 2-second conversation. Tell me what size you need it, and I'll send it to you. That's it. Yeah. Why are we arguing about this? You know, but it is what it is. Like,
how would you know what size? Would he just be like, "Hey, I need it to fit on a minifigure"? Would he have to come to you with like actual dimensions or something?
Well, I prefer actual dimensions, but if he says I need it on the arm of a minifigure, I'll just guesstimate and get it to the right size. Vector, it doesn't matter. It'll be. I can get it to. I can just eyeball it like, to where it needs to be, but. It's him and he knows. Him and I argue about this all the time, and I'm like, I haven't seen the final product. I'm sure it's good. He's been sending me pictures of it, and we've been going back and brainstorming for months on that thing. And I didn't know he released it because I haven't been online with my injury. But it's just like, dude, I can easily just send you something that's crystal clear and do it the right way. Like that's why I love Citizen Brick, because he does it. He holds very high standards to do everything he does exactly how Lego does it. And they do it the professional way.
And as a few of us know, some people like the creators, like the creators of Star Wars, the Acolyte, get too protective of their own vision. And some people like Jerry Jones let their ego get in the way of doing business.
See, the thing with vector art is that's the thing. Like if I even just eyeball it, he'll be able to size it. He'll be able to take that file and at least scale it however he wants, and it'll still stay true to its form. So that's the reason why we should be placing EPS files. I mean, again, this is very nerdy graphic design stuff, but there's a reason. There's a reason behind it. Like so you can just take the vector file and then you'll be able to scale it however you want.
Also, just quickly, yo, Cliff.
Can you get pictures like photographs into that as a file like that?
The photographs are always raster; they're never vector. That's why like
them up and they suck.
Yeah, that's why like if I was designing something for, say, like a Jose Cuervo tequila ad, I would have to do an actual photo shoot with a photographer so he'll shoot it very big and very high res so that it can be shrunk or scaled and still maintain some of, because all photographs are always raster art. You can't get around that. They're made of pixels. It's the way it is. Like that's why people spend money to do these photo shoots and stuff. So
useful. I will say I haven't been on socials much, but I'm glad I did that randomly that one night, because regardless, I think the color of those figures, the black, that blue, I think they're tight.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen a final. Sean sent me one like probably a month or two ago. Well, he sent me different versions of it, and we were just talking about like my opinion on what you should do, this or that. I wanted him to do Shock Troopers because the new logo, he has the lightning bolt, and I thought it would fit in, but he was stuck on the girth thing, which is cool. He wanted the girth thing. I get it. The GRTH Trooper, it makes sense. It's cool. It's a good concept. But I haven't seen the finals until I heard you say that they released them. But speaking of that, the Citizen Brick figs though, the New York ones, the spray paint, the graffiti dude, and the Louis Vuitton, fake Louis Vuitton. I just got those, man. So cool. I love how Joe does random stuff like that. Did you see the graffiti figure he did?
Hey, BFAB.
I might have. It's been a lot, or it's been a while.
It was the
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. It's nice to see you too.
I just want to say that whenever we talk about
Thanks
whenever we talk about the cancelled Temple of Doom set, I always reference that stream I was on with BFAB and Our Toy World.
It's been a long time since I seen BFAB.
Yeah, it's been a few months since you streamed.
Yeah, I haven't been doing much. I post a little bit here and there when I got random 5-10 minutes. That's about it.
I think they gave me the wrong piece.
Speaking of which,
BFAB of all people, you'll enjoy the rant I just went on. Rewind a little, BFAB. You'll BFAB and I.
Yeah, he'll like it.
Yeah, he'll enjoy. He knows the inside of me venting about this crap. You'll enjoy it, BFAB, if you rewind a little bit.
Speaking of missing a piece, Mail, during my Avengers Tower, I'm missing one fellow's. It's like that flimsy plastic, but I'm missing his wings and a cape. I don't even know the damn guy's name because I'm not a big, huge Avengers buff. So I got to contact Lego and ask him where's my piece at.
I'm not going to cry over spilled milk about it, and it might show up again because I've got dozens of it in my inventory.
That's the thing, I don't, and I'm going to cry over spilt milk about it because it's kind of a rare figure. Not a rare figure, but it goes with the set.
Johnny, I don't care who enjoyed it. I enjoyed it because all the people in the community make some hack-ass figs. People just want to be graphic designers. So enjoy that. I'm the real deal, bro.
Are you the real deal or are you the real Slim Shady?
I guess a professional walks in and if he sees something he's gonna point it out or say something or hey, let's tweak it. It makes sense.
Macro, that's like, dude, when you're building these kitchens, these dope kitchens you build, and things aren't to code or things are wrong, like you would do the same thing, bro. You would do the same exact thing.
100%. Yeah.
It's not my fault people in this community think that they're graphic designers when they're not. It's not my fault, dude. Hey, like I salute them for trying, but they all design in Photoshop and they have no idea what the fuck they're doing.
Or you've been doing it for that much longer and just got the experience, right?
And also you've got
Cheers.
And also hey Scene, and also you know the know-how because you went to school about it.
True.
These kids were growing up on cereal boxes I designed, eating cereal out of the hell I had to deal with account people saying, make the Fruity Pebbles logo bigger, draw Fred, this and that. Like, so they can lick my fucking grits.
Even in high school, I went to people who said that I can't draw. And I'm like, really? No, it's not that you can't draw. It's that you don't have confidence in your own ability. Anyone can draw. Doodling is drawing. Some people,
totally, dude. Yeah.
Some people think they can't draw because it's not good. No, anyone can draw.
I'm all for people being creative, and I love seeing people build mocks. But when you're going to charge $60 for a figure, and this is just a broad strokes to not just to anybody, like in the community, you're going to charge $60 for a UV figure. Design the thing fucking properly, please. That's all I'm saying. And also because a Lego minifigure is more disformed, is more of a disformed mutation than a prototypically accurate character, which is why I've enjoyed Jane Bricks in his latest reviews making fun of people who buy Lego sets for the minifigures, because he snarkily says, when I pay this much money for Lego sets, I want the Lego. If I want the figures, I will go buy
I will
Just
go buy. I will go buy an actual action figure for the same price that is 100 times bigger than your puny little minifigures, and I think that is such a good calculated roast, because there are some people who take minifigures way too seriously, in my opinion.
But
And
that's
those
what they collect, though,
those
versus
are,
an action
those,
figure.
those are the same people that will pay the asking prices for Mr. Gold and Cloud City Boba Fett and the silver or the chrome Darth Vader. Those are the same people.
I'm just gonna go to Minnesota and beat up BFAB for his Mr. Gold because he's
There
got
you go, collectors.
I think he sold a few actually.
This is the figure I'm missing his wings for. On a side note, I want to show you something, and I haven't seen it actually ever in my Lego building. Is I got this noise piece. It's like a light brick, but it's gonna make noise. Here, one sec.
It's a sound brick.
That has me intrigued. So now I want to go back and find out what other Lego sets have sound bricks.
Is that a battery?
Yeah,
I believe
Damn,
the first lights and sound sets came out in 1986.
might be louder if I replace that battery.
No, I don't know. I don't think it'll be louder. I'm just shocked that it still works.
100%. Yeah, me too. I was iffy. I was like, is this thing gonna even make a noise?
Yeah, because Stud, do you remember how the last year of Classic Space, 1986, it came with the lights and sounds, and then when the Future One took over, they had a bunch of lights and sound sets.
Yeah, that's right. When they started going from like true Classic Space to the sub themes of Classic Space.
Yeah, because when you get to the Classic Space sets that have the lights and sounds, then you know that Lego was getting more creative with the space theme and evolving beyond Classic Space into what I like to call vintage space, which was from 87, which was from Future One in 87 to Life on Mars in 2002.
Aren't they putting are there new sound bricks though in some of the newer sets? I thought I'm also I'm the worst with like keeping up with sets and
they still make light and sounds bricks. Some of the police cars have a lights and sounds bricks where the police lights light up and you get the siren.
Yeah. That sounds fun, Rich.
They were making
me a message.
They were making that recently.
BFAB, didn't you had how many Mr. Golds you had? 2 or 3? I know you sold 1 or 2, or I know you had more than 1.
Thanks, Team B, 100%. Yeah, he did. He went on a hunt for them and found a bunch, and I think he said he sold them before they peaked.
Yeah, he was a little feeler freak. He knew how to feel. He had a few of them.
Bag diddler.
I think Good had 2 of them too. I think
I remember I started watching.
How's a guy now?
I started really getting into Lego YouTube when Series 10 came out, and I was a year too late to watch it in the moment. But I would go back and watch the video of Briggsar buying 10 cases of Series 10 and didn't find Mr. Gold.
10 cases, eh? That's quite a bit.
I believe he bought 10 cases of Series 10 just to find Mr. Gold, and he couldn't find it.
That's how it goes.
BFAB found 3 and had 4. You dirty little bird. No wonder why you had those gold sneakers.
And have a damn. Hey, at least you got 1, but still, that's crazy.
He sold some. So he made his money, I would hope.
Yeah, and how do you know? It's like Bitcoin. They get expensive, and you're like, man, are they going to keep going up? Or are they going to go down? So you offload them. Then you're like, I kind of want them back 10 years later.
Yeah. Well, that's funny. The reason why Sam Bankman-Fried made all of his money to start FTX is because he bought a Bitcoin for $10,000 on the American exchange and sold them for $11,000 on the Japanese exchange. And he did that every single day. He started with $10 million and he did it every single day for almost a year until he had almost $300 million.
Well, that's crazy. You just need the
know,
first 10 million to get going and you're golden.
Yeah, so, and people were clowning upon that because they were making the jokes every time a rich guy tells you how to get rich. It
You'd get
said,
rich.
the joke is, if you want to get rich quick, you have to become rich. So the first step to become rich is literally start rich.
Or you got to save it all and take a chance, but that's iffy.
Yeah, I'm
And
so
so,
bad when it comes to
and
stock
so
and
those people that clown on the gurus who tell you how to get rich quick and step one is to already be rich. Those are the people. Those are the people that clown on that all sorts of junk and expose them for being frauds.
Yeah, I'm so bad when it comes to that stuff, like stocks, politics, investing, all that. Like that's never been my thing. Like I know how to work my butt off and sell art and keep making money and keep spending it, but I'm a bad spender.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same. I know how to work my ass off, but that's kind of where it
99% of people in this world will never ever have $10 million in their bank account to do what Sam Bankman-Fried did.
Well, if I did, I don't know if I'd want to take a risk unless I was guaranteed it's going to work. Because wouldn't it suck to work your ass off and then just
the reason Sam Bankman-Fried did that is because it was a guarantee.
Well, that's the one thing. Like when I left my career to I was like, finally, I learned everything I need to learn to have my own business and market it and have the art side. And it was a huge risk. But I had to cut back. Like I got rid of driving a Mercedes. I took all the I just humbled myself to nothing and just worked and worked and worked and worked my way up to it. And so now I look at money much differently. But I've never been one to risk it and invest it and do smart moves with it like that. That's not my guy. I can't do that stuff. I'm not good with stocks. I would blow it all probably like an idiot. So
and I learned the story of how Sam Bankman-Fried got rich and then ultimately scammed the world and went to jail, because when I went back to work 1.5 months ago and started and took a break from Lego, I got interested in learning about cryptocurrency and NFT scams.
Yeah, I mean, you do have to take risks. Like I took a huge risk doing what I did, and it sucked that for 4 or 5 years I had to live way different than I was used to, but it paid off now. So it's I put the work into it. Yeah. But I wouldn't want to gamble that money. Even though I could probably make money in the stock market, I know nothing about that shit. I would lose it. I would definitely lose it.
Yeah. See, I'm not generally a big risk taker. I like being conservative and living within my own skill set, and which is why I waited for the right moment to tell my boss that, hey, I know you're not ready to go to the new software. You need people to still do the old software. I have made a good amount of money this past month. I have bought and paid for all of the travel plans that I want to do, which is why the reason I accepted your contract in the first place. If you don't let me go back to my old job, what I was doing before, which is the reason why you brought me on in the first place, then I'm gonna quit right now.
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
I definitely have a lot of comments.
And so fortunately, I didn't have to get to that point because because the deputy boss reassigned me to do the old job when the threshold was met that the backlog was too much. And so they told me a quarter of the way into the day, and it was one of the best days of my working life, because I was slogging away at the new system, which is incredibly slow, and the AI is trying to learn a whole bunch of stuff inside. And the moment they told me to go back to the old system, I felt like I was on cloud 9. My fingers were touching the keyboard 4 times as much. which meant there was more kinetic energy going through my body. My energy levels increased dramatically. I felt like it was a sign from God, and I was so fast for the rest of that day that my boss the next day said, "Hey, I literally saw how much faster you were working." That was because at the start of the next day, I said, "You know what? I am going, like, I know what I've done. I'm just gonna, if things don't go my way, I'm gonna threaten to quit." So I guess my deputy boss overheard that and made me an offer that I couldn't refuse because they know I'm a mercenary and they don't want to let me go. So I didn't have to threaten to quit. I said, okay, I will accept going back to this old job because I said, if you didn't say this to me, if you didn't offer this to me, I was going to quit right now. And so that's why. And so after I went back to the old system and got the green light to do the old system and become a part-time worker, not a full-time worker, because I work to live, not live to work. And I enjoy work-life balance, hanging with my friends on YouTube like right now. That was one of the happiest moments that was probably the happiest moment of my year. Because I was like, it was like punching your supreme overlord in the face. It was a boss move.
I definitely have a lot of toys and cards and comics and stuff that I should sell. I'm so lazy with that stuff. Like, they're just collecting dust. And I don't have the room for them. I should sell a lot of stuff. I just don't.
We'll have to go back to that.
Looks awesome. I wish I had it.
Oh, BFAB, this is Calvin Stud camo. It's cold here and I can't move, so Lego Team V knows all about it. It's a Calvin Stud. This is a new line, Calvin Stud.
People are gonna go nuts for it or what?
Huh?
People are gonna go nuts for it.
Those are the trans neon green antennas, aren't they?
Antennas and grill pieces.
Yeah, the 1x2 grills.
Yeah, those are pretty sweet. I haven't built a set start to finish on stream for a long time, even when I do stream. So this was nice. It's a fun little set. I'm gonna put this in.
I was curious when you first were building it. I was like, dude, that looks like an old set.
Yeah,
that's why I asked you.
Well, those trans neon green antennas go back to the days of M-Tron and Blacktron in the early 90s.
I have a gray aliens diorama mock I was building before Halloween. BFAB saw parts of it. It was real sloppy when I showed it to BFAB, but past it sitting there. I need to finish it. It's the gray alien figs too. I never realized the CMF ones how expensive they were. I ended up paying like $20 a pop for these little alien figs.
How old are they?
They're from series, one of the mid-teen series or early. I forget, like 14, 12. I'm bad with that stuff, but they're old. They're not super old, but they're from the older CMFs, and I had to buy like 3 or 4 of them, and it cost me like $80 to $100.
Speaking of which, what I seen was crazy is I don't have the exact CMF fig, but they got that Dark Raven logo on them. They're like series.
Oh yeah.
Like series, I don't know, series 12. I can't remember. When I was buying them, they were like $20 American. I was trying to collect them, and I seen them. I stopped. But then I seen them like the other day, like $116 now for one figure.
I've been trying to find the early from the little coin operated machine set that's going to have the new classic space, like dark blue or whatever fig, and the Kraken Castle faction. I've been trying to find those through FIC. You have the Mexican hookup through FIC. And I've been trying to get them, and they even the Mexican factory's not leaking them yet. I wanted to get those, at least 1 or 2 of the Kraken figs and the new colors, classic space figs that are coming in that. The idea set, the little coin operated gumball machine looking thing.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to look into that.
Usually, figs hook up with the Mexican figs. I mean, I had Zelda figs like 3 months before the set came out. Not all of them.
Kudos to him, right on.
Yeah, hit up Vic because he is the Mexican Connect where they come right out of the Mexican factory, and I'm not ashamed to buy them. But I buy them all the time.
Now,
okay, I know which one now. I got you.
Yeah, I know that, and I made a baby version from the alien from the last Space CMF series. What was it? The one before Dungeons and Dragons. The alien tourist heads and put them
Yeah.
in bodies. But so I made baby aliens. Like BFAB saw the mock I was working on. It's a mess, but I can't wait to finish it because it's a dope like alien mock, like true gray alien mock.
Yeah, I like all those guys too,
Yeah,
man.
those are rad. I need to get the Ice Planet ones before they're gone. I still see them in the Walgreens. Well, I did a few weeks ago before I couldn't walk anymore.
I grabbed at least 10 of each, but at that Blacktron, I probably got about 20 of them.
Yeah, I have a ton of those. I need the Ice Planet ones.
I'm not sure if Titanium J is still in the comments, if he's lurking or if he's turned away. But he invested over $500 in those figs for future merch. One of the other happiest days of my year, besides making those boss moves at work, was when I found the M-Tron in Target, and I literally screamed Eureka when I scanned it.
Nice. And then the same with series before these with that Bat Lord and the goat.
Yeah.
I went and scooped like 20, 30 Bat Lords because I could see them, find them everywhere. And I was like, man, these are going to go up.
Yeah, I love those figs too. I got a bunch of those. I can't believe you didn't see Macro the Citizen Brick, the New York Comic Con figs he came out with. One's a graffiti. It's a fig just painted in graffiti holding the Krylon can, and one is like Louis Vuitton. It's the whole it's a Louis Vuitton bag as a figure. It's amazing. It's a fake Louis Vuitton bag. The thing is, if I could get up and grab them, I would show you. They're so cool. The New York City Comic Con Citizen Brick figs he came out this year are awesome.
No, I check his website once in a while, but I don't usually see a lot, or it's all damn sold out.
Well, those aren't. He doesn't put those on the website because they're Comic Con exclusive figs. He puts them on the Instagram page though, but he doesn't sell them. You have to go to the event. So I usually either go or I buy them on eBay, which gets crazy because they end up going for $80 on eBay, which is nuts. But
yeah, I was late to the party scanning figs, so I don't have the Goat Herder or the Bat Lord. I probably don't need the Goat Herder if I'm going to buy the medieval town square, but it would be nice to find the Bat Lord somewhere.
Well, if you need some, I can mail you some.
The one that Citizen Brick made from the movie The Thing with the alien, it's got this little. He made a mold of like the little alien spider with the eyes. Is amazing. That's on his website. I'm
looking at it right now. The object.
Yeah, it's from The Thing. That thing's awesome. But yeah, the ones from Comic-Con he doesn't show on the website. He only puts them on Instagram and sells them at the conventions. I was lucky. I got them for about $45 each. I'm sure they were sold for like $25 at the convention, but I couldn't go to it. So, but they were cool. One's like it's just an all-white fig covered in graffiti holding a Krylon can, and then the other one is a Louis Vuitton bag, which is crazy. It's a brown fig with a Louis Vuitton bag pattern, has a gold chain. It's really cool. Yeah, he did. The New York figs he did this year were amazing.
That's the reason why to get out more to some of these events to get the exclusive little collector stuff like that.
Yeah, the collector stuff aren't even at Lego conventions. He does them at like Comic Cons, which is it's cool, but it's not cool because you have to end up paying double or triple to get them on eBay. So, but
fair. The first year I went to Brick World, I seen Sir Smokes a lot. So it's like a medieval minifigure, but he has a
long.
Yeah. And then this is the one I grabbed from his website. It's probably the best figure I've seen on his website for me anyways, but those are the only two I got. I'd collect more. I just don't have access to them, and I don't want to be paying $120 Canadian for
yeah. It's I have a lot. I have the
Here's Moments.
Boys in the Hood, Easy E.
Yeah. We got Mum in the chat.
He did a zombie Michael Jordan figure, which is really cool.
He does have some cool ones. Ooh, I will go ask. There you go.
Yeah.
I'm hoping I can go this year. Mark wants me to do an actual shirt, like a whole vendor setup, which I would love to do. just that time of year is always when the conventions start for the Raiders stuff, and I have to go do that. But I hired a team this year when I was in Las Vegas to do it with me, and I trust them. So hopefully this year I can have those people run my work stuff while I go to Chicago. I've been wanting to do it, and I have so many mocks and things I want to bring.
Well, just to hang out in the epic builds for sure.
That
one of these days, I'd bring them off.
Plus, I can drive. Hive is on the way, so I can drive down to Hive, chill with him for a day or two, and then him and I can go and hit like from Maryland, head to Chicago.
I'd do that. I'd go on an extra little road trip outside that to see some of the people. I know Eric Bricklock built a new house. He lives pretty close. I'd like to go check that out.
Hey, Hoarder, together we will rule Coruscant.
That's funny. Awesome. Well, you know what? I think that's about my time. I don't get a lot on here, and I don't get a lot of time off, so I'm kind of just trying to delegate it out the best I can. But what I can say is next weekend, I got no work either. I booked it off, so there'll be another Shenanigans week later. Back-to-back Shenanigans.
Whoa!
That's cool. I haven't been on social media much with my Lego account, so I haven't seen. Usually, you're posting the things you're working on. How's work been with the kitchen stuff and all that?
Oh, it's good. It's busy. I haven't been posting much about that because I was doing like stretches of townhouse and condos, so it's more just like quantity over quality at that point.
Yeah, more
like the quality is always there, but like it's just basic small chickens, right?
Pumping out the fabricated like this, all the same thing over and over.
Yeah, you do like 10, 15 kitchens, and they're all like just a difference of 3 models in a different color. Yeah,
I get it.
So that's going, and I just bust out all my camera equipment, make sure all my batteries are charged. I'd like to get into some more actual random shenanigan Lego content. I sure will, Lego Team B. She'll appreciate that.
I'm so
Johnny Mail says we love you.
Yeah. Well, maybe someone will love me enough to be my co-host one day.
Oh, they will. It's just
time.
Busy sometimes, yeah.
It all comes down to time.
Awesome. Well, with that being said, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate y'all. It's been fun. I actually got the build finished, start to finish. And then I'm going to go hang out with the wife and then probably spend a couple hours cleaning up the Lego room.
Yeah, and I'm going to go edit my thumbnail for tomorrow's video.
That's cool that they had a sound brick. I didn't realize like the old set had a sound brick. That's really cool.
No, that was a nice little treat on top of that epic minifigure, which I should post a picture of online there. It was cool. Easy. Well, you guys take care, stay safe, and definitely have a whole lot of fun for me.
Later.
Bye.
Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.